Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're focusing on a really striking piece of music, Jamie Tseng's song, Listening to His Voice. And we're going deep into her vocal performance, but the context here is just extraordinary. This was all composed, released while she was battling stage 2 breast cancer, diagnosed just this past June 2024.
Yeah, what really jumps out from the sources is the sheer pressure she was under. And it wasn't just the physical illness, The sources talk about her being, overwhelmed by what she calls Job's friends.
Oh, yeah. People giving that really unhelpful advice.
Exactly. Really destructive stuff. Telling her to repent quickly or suggesting that cancer was because of sin or even a curse.
Wow. Dealing with the illness is one thing, but adding that kind of spiritual weight.
It's a lot. And her response, it was pretty incredible. She decided to write basically an alternative song of Job.
Okay.
A kind of worship testimony meant to push back against what she saw as distorted theology.
So not a lament, but more like a corrective,
Right.
a guide.
Precisely. The goal wasn't pity. It was offering the comfort of truth and hope for others who are suffering. It needed a coach's heart, she said, not judgment.
And that itself is... Well, it speaks volumes. The strength to not just sing, but compose something with that level of spiritual clarity during a major health crisis. That's quite something.
Absolutely. It's this refusal to be silenced, really, by fear or by bad theology.
Okay, so she's building this testimony, this shield of security. How does her actual voice, the sound itself, contribute to that? Let's get into the technical side.
All right. So her voice type is categorized as a spiritual, clear mezzo-soprano.
Spiritual, clear, mezzo-soprano.
And what does that translate to sound-wise?
It's described as clean, penetrating, yet non-aggressive. There's often this feeling of an aura of breath light around the notes.
Interesting. And how does that connect to those titles she's been given, like Light of Dawn?
Well, that one links directly to spectral analysis. There's a noticeable brightness around the 1800 hertz frequency range in her voice. 1800 hertz, isn't that usually associated with cutting power? Clarity.
It is. And that gives the voice that clear as morning light quality they talk about.
But wait, if the song's about quiet listening, finding rest, wouldn't that kind of brightness risk sounding a bit harsh? Aggressive, even?
That's where the control comes in. Her technical mastery keeps it from becoming sharp or grating. The brightness is there to let the truth penetrate, Cut through the noise of those bad voices, but gently. It's intentional clarity.
Okay. That makes sense. Focused light, not a glare. What about Fountain of Spiritual Sound? That sounds like it's about flow.
It is, yeah. You hear it in the smoothness, the blend, and particularly how she starts the verses. She uses what's called soft onset.
Soft onset, meaning?
Basically, she starts the note very gently with minimal air friction, no heart attack. It creates this feeling of quiet waiting, like a listening ear, which fits the theme perfectly, right? It's the opposite of aggressive singing.
Got it. And then there's heavenly resonance. That sounds quite poetic.
And it points to her use of head resonance, especially you hear it in the chorus, on the phrase, hey.
High resonance that gives it that later, almost floating quality.
Exactly. It feels less anchored in the body, more ethereal. It makes the sound feel like it's floating up from the heart to heaven. It beautifully mirrors the song's journey, that shift from just hearing about God to that inner spiritual knowing, seeing God, as the source puts it. The technique really supports the message.
But underpinning all of this artistry, the clarity, the flow, the resonance there, has to be solid technique, right? Especially breathing.
Absolutely crucial. The sources emphasize her breathing control is incredibly stable. So stable that even when the emotion gets really intense, you don't hear any strain, any struggle in the voice.
And why is that technical detail so important for the message?
Because that's where the technique becomes the theology, in a way. That rock-solid breath support translates directly into an unshakable vocal delivery.
So it mirrors the lyrics, your faithfulness is my shield.
Precisely. Her unwavering voice becomes a kind of sonic proof against feeling like a helpless victim. The stability in the sound itself reinforces that unshakable sense of security. The music is the testimony.
That connection is really powerful, truly inspiring. So if you listening haven't heard it yet, we definitely encourage you to seek out Listening to His Voice.
Experience it for yourself.
Yeah, experience this blend of spirit and skill. And there are 3 versions out there, image, lyric, and acoustic, so you can find one that suits your listening style.
It really feels like Jamie Tseng's voice transforms this incredibly personal struggle into something universal, a quiet light showing the way to rest and clarity.
Thank you for listening.